first trip I went on, my parents actually told me no when I asked them if I could go. And then they kind of just ignored me while I signed myself up and started to raise my own money. And I think, a few months into it, they were kind of like, okay, here we go.
When you tell people our daughters are doing these things, and it's just not the norm for people to accept the fact that you're allowing your daughters, when you're still the adult in the situation and they're not, and you're allowing them to go places and do things that most American people would not have the faith to do.
It's been really interesting to watch their hearts towards the whole thing change because, I don't know, I feel like I've taken them a lot on my whole idea of reading the book Radical and my ideas of what are we doing here in America with this American dream. And it's been interesting to have conversations with them and them, see my heart about it and realize that that's such a special thing that God has put in me, and just watch it change their views on their lifestyle in America.
I think the exciting part is their hearts are passionate and they are real, and their joy and their happiness is not in the things as much as being engaged in people's lives.
I'm sure I've scared them at times with I'm just going to move and go live in the middle of nowhere, and that's what I want to do this week, and then the next week I want to live in Knoxville and work with inner city kids. And so it's always changing. And so I think for them, they don't ever have time to just prepare themselves for, okay, this is what she's going to do. How do we deal with that?
In some ways, it was easy for us because we were very excited about Jessica having international experiences. It's real important to my heart and to our family. But then as she grew, she really became even stronger in her sense of willingness to risk and move wherever God led her to. And then all of a sudden as parents, you're like, wait, we didn't necessarily sign up for that. I mean, we're like, yeah, be a global Christian, live here in Knoxville. And, God, again, just had much bigger plans and a bigger faith for her than even I think I dreamed of for her.
Because we all went together, it was kind of just what was happening in my heart, was happening in my parents' hearts, and my brother and sister's hearts. And it was really good of my dad to make my whole family go back the next year, because I think it really touched him too the first time we went, that just like, yeah, this is where we're supposed to be. And now my parents lead the trip, the family trip. And so just it's all happening together at the same time with us. It's really neat.
We're in the process of adopting internationally now, and I really don't think that would be, well, maybe everything's possible with God, but I really think Kayla's first trip to Mexico and her passion for the orphans and for others has really helped us see that it is possible for us to adopt, and it would be a good fit with our family to have all our kids are on board with it. I'm not sure they would be if they hadn't been to Mexico.
Our kids' lives belong to the Father. They don't belong to us, and they don't belong to them. And if there's anything that I think our missions experiences do for our next generation is to reinforce this is the gospel, and the church and the kingdom are not about you, they're about Christ. And I think as parents we have some lessons to learn alongside our kids in that.
On one hand, it is a stretch to see that, hey, they may not be around, they may be in another country for many years, but I see their excitement, and I see the joy in their life, the fulfillment in their life because of their commitment to Jesus Christ.
But there really is a need for us as parents to reckon with the fact that we are not in control of our kids becoming young adult followers of Christ, and we have to release them to where He takes them.
Listen to the Lord and let your kids go. I would say hold them loosely, because they're not yours to hold on to, and that the Lord has so much for them to experience in life and with people. And there are people that are hurting and people that need Him, and how sad and how heartbreaking it would be to hold your child back from something that they could offer to someone else, which is life with Christ.